Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm your host, John F. Thomas. Welcome to the real review. I know it's been a second since I've put up a real review, but life and stuff and things. But I'm back. I'm back, and I'm so happy to be here with you. Again, I'm your host, John F. Thomas. Make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to John F. Thomas on YouTube, Facebook. Find me on Instagram at JT Slim Cutter. You just look for me. Just type in my name. This episode, we are reviewing Loki, Marvel Universe's continuation of the TV show, but it's going to be Loki episode 1 is what we're going to be reviewing. But before I get into that, hit that intro for me.
It's the real review. It's the real review. It's the real review.
Welcome again. Hit that like button if you're just now tuning in. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me and all that. I'm going to do a pretty quick recap on Loki. It's the first episode, and it's pretty good. So, I mean, if you want to give your thoughts, please feel free to leave it in the comments and just let me know what you think. Other than that, let's get right to it. So, Loki, season 1, episode 1. Loki was last time we saw him as Avengers Endgame, when they went back in time to the first Avengers movie, and they were trying to steal the Space Stone, and it fell towards Loki's feet. Loki grabbed it, and he disappeared. We don't know where he went to. So, but now we get to find out where Loki went. This is a continuation of that. So Loki pops up, I think, in Mongolia or somewhere in the world, like somewhere in Mongolia. So Loki pops up out there, and he's trying to figure out what's happening, what's going on, but he can't even really do anything because some people show up and they tell him, like, hey, you're coming with us, you're variant, you've broken the laws, whatever. They saying all this yada yada nonsense, and he just like, huh, what are you talking about? Man, I'm a god. What are you saying? I'm Loki. You don't know who you're talking to. So Loki tries to go ahead and get out of the situation. He can't, because he's dealing with some people he's never met before, and they are called the Time Variance Authority, TVA for short. So they capture him, and in humorous fashion, it was pretty funny. So they capture him in that, and they take him to where they're located, their base, and it's seemingly outside of maybe time and space. I don't know. Things work differently there. That's all really you need to know. And Loki is just kind of confused on what's going on. He tries to escape numerous times. He doesn't. He can't. And he's just not understanding or not even believing what he's hearing, because the TVA has been created to make sure that the timeline stays intact. And even when he questions about, okay, Thor doing all the stuff for the Avengers, doing whatever they're doing to change the timeline, he was like, well, that was supposed to happen. He was like, what? And I was even like, what? So I was as confused as Loki was. But, supposedly all this stuff was supposed to happen. The Avengers were supposed to go back, reverse time, and bring all these people back that disappeared and all this stuff. So all this stuff was supposed to happen. Thanos was supposed to almost end everything, but the Avengers stopped him. And all of that was supposed to happen. But Loki doing this was not supposed to happen. He broke the law. And so it was a really cool, interesting place. It's kind of retro. Kind of reminds me of what's that TV show, Umbrella Academy, where they got people doing the stuff. It's kind of like when they went to their the place and they were trying to get people. I don't know. I mean, they were monitoring time, I guess, or whatever. It kind of reminded me of that little retro feel. But in a sense, I kind of like this better. But I'm not talking about Umbrella Academy. I'm talking about Loki. So Loki is brought in, and he's not understanding everything, and all this stuff it's interesting because they're introducing these basically timekeepers, the people who are monitoring time, making sure that everything is going according to plan, that the timeline is intact, that no other multiverses, I guess in a sense, are created, and they have to stop different variants like Loki from changing and ruining everything. Like everything has to be the way it was. Loki, basically, they showed Loki, you have to die. You have to go and potentially die by Thanos' hands. Well, not potentially, you have to die. So Loki doesn't like this news. He's upset and he tries to escape again. But this time, I think he gets lucky. Well, let me rewind. He goes to court and he's trying to defend his case. He doesn't do a good job because his ego is just ruining it for him. So, but Owen Wilson shows up, and Owen Wilson is playing Agent Mobius. And for those who don't know Loki is, if you don't know who I'm talking about, Loki is being played by Tom Hiddleston. Loki is the god of mischief in the Marvel Universe. Anyway, we're all caught up. Congrats. All right. So carrying on, before Agent Mobius got there, Agent Mobius was monitoring another situation somewhere else. And I guess some other agents that they had to make sure that this variant stayed in line, those agents got killed. So this Loki tried to escape. Our Loki that we know tried to escape, but he couldn't lay a hand on these agents. But this other variant could, and he killed all of those agents. He or she killed all of those agents. What is that? Agents. And escaped, and he's been taking, I guess, like a reset cube or something like that. He took the reset cube and vial or whatever that thing is. I don't know. I'm watching this as fresh as you all. So he's taking and that stuff, and he went on about his business. So Agent Mobius is concerned because there's a variant out there killing their agents. So they go back, and now we're back at the courthouse where Loki is basically like he has to either prove that he's innocent, because if he's guilty, either he'll be taken back, and just put back where he was left at, or he could completely be erased. So there's a lot going on. So Agent Mobius steps in because Loki's mouth and his ego is about to ruin it for him. And he steps in and he says, hey, let me take him. And she knows what's up. The judge, they're like, all right, man, be careful. So he takes Loki in and tries to interview Loki and interrogate him. And it's just like, hey, man, like, why do you do what you do? And he's showing him all of the stuff that Loki has done thus far up to this point, right? He's showing Loki everything. So, hey, look, this is what you've done before. You hurt people, yada, yada, yada. And Loki ain't really trying to hear this. He's like, man, look, whatever. I just want to go back, and I'm a rule. I'm gonna be a guide amongst these people. And Agent Mobius is really trying to break him down. Like, but why do you do this? Why do you do that? So Mobius gets distracted because another variant the same variant has killed some other agents. So Loki takes this chance to escape. He escapes to another area of the place that he's at, the TVA. And he finds the guy who had the space stone, who acquired the space stone, and he tucked it away. So he went to him, give me the space stone. I need it right now. And he threatens the guy. They have a humorous moment. So, but long story short, he opens up a drawer and there's a lot of Infinity Stones. He sees all the Infinity Stones that Thanos was trying to get. And he's just like, yo, they all right here. And it just goes into a whole thing where finally they're trying to find Loki, but Loki knows how to use the thing that they were using, that kind of like their tech that they were using against him. But he finds himself back into the interrogation room and he chills there. And Agent Mobius comes back and they have a talk, and Loki finally opens up and he was like, man, I'm one of the weak that preys on people because I want to be strong, so. And they talk it out, and basically he's like, look, man, I can help you be more than what you've been. You can do more than what you've done, because you're talking about you just want to be a guy, but what if you can do more? So Loki's just like, so what, you want me to help you stop somebody or something? Well, he was just like, yeah, it's another variant. You're like, okay. You're like, it's you. And Loki just like, wait, what? Me? What are you talking about, me? What do you mean? And that's how they stopped the episode. So as I said, I was going to keep that real short. And it's really interesting so far because it's just like, man, and we had some really like sweet scenes where Loki gets to see the stuff that happened before. He's kind of like, but he gets to see what happens because of his actions when Agent Mobius was showing him basically your life on screen, which is kind of wild, So got to see his mother dying because of his actions. He got to see his father die, and his father said, I loved you, even though Loki's been a horrible son. and tricking everybody and doing wrong, and got to see himself die, to protect his brother and defend life at the hand of Thanos. So it was all really interesting seeing him see himself and the things that were to come, and it was really interesting. So I did like that. But enough of that. Let's get into what I thought about this entire thing here. So what I thought about the acting and the story and everything. Let's get into it. First category, acting and casting. What did I think? Acting and casting, it was good. It's really good. I had a good feeling about Loki anyway this season. I thought it was going to be really good. So I'm not even really sweating it. Nothing moved me to tears. So, but it was really good. It was touching. The moments were really touching with Loki. Tom Hiddleston is a good actor. So, and Owen Wilson is a good actor. I mean, they were able, because this was kind of serious, but also kind of silly in the sense to where it's Marvel. So they're kind of silly, but I think Owen Wilson's like charm, you can kind of tell like, oh, this is why everybody likes Owen Wilson. He's so charmed. I mean, he's a silly, charming person, where he makes it seem like he's stupid, but he's really smart. There's more going on behind those eyes than he's putting on, and I like that about Owen Wilson. That's why a lot of people like him. So for acting and casting, and everybody else did good. So, but those are the 2 stars, or 2 standouts for this. But acting and casting, I give it 4 stars. Good job. Moving on to story. What did I think about the story? I'm intrigued. It's really good. It was enough of a, showing what happened almost in a subtle way, I guess in like exposition too, but it worked in this sense because you got to see, again, like I mentioned earlier, you got to see Loki see how his actions unfolded and how he reacted to that, how he's absorbing this information, and just like, what, we already know this, but we get to see it, and it's interesting because you get a different viewpoint. It's from a different angle, which is great. It's a great way to show exposition, but also don't make it feel like we're having to, relive the same thing over. This helps other people who are able to catch up over all these films to catch up on that. But we get to see, Loki and his reaction. We get to see Owen Wilson, and he already knows all the stuff that's happening. He's just watching Loki, and it's really good. So this is a really good story. I give this story 4 stars. It wasn't, super duper awesome, but it was better than good. It was great. It was good. It was a really great start so far. I'm intrigued. I want to know more. Okay, so getting away from the story, let's get into the budgeting and marketing. Is with most of the stuff because they've been pumping out so much stuff, Disney. It's Disney. They have money. Stuff looks good. And especially with this, a TV show. I've never seen a TV show look this good. A lot of the stuff that looks good. There was one scene when Loki first tried to escape outside of his initial escape, his successful escape, but he tried to escape after that when he was in Mongolia, tried to escape from the TVA. The effects on that, crazy, for a TV show. So I'll give it 4 stars. It was really good, because it was a lot more was focused on the story of this, but it was still really, really good. It did really good. So with all of that being said, overall, what do I give the overall score of Loki episode 1? So let's go straight to, actually, Monkey, I'm sorry, I almost jumped ahead of you. Drum roll, please. Thank you, Monkey. You're the best. Anyway, so for Loki episode 1, what's the overall score for that? Y'all probably already know what it is. 4 stars for Loki episode 1. Great job. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far right now. It's really good. I'm ready to see more. I'm ready to see more episodes. I think it's like 6 episodes total for this. So I'm interested in seeing where this goes from here. But I enjoyed it, and hey, I hope y'all enjoyed this review so far in glorious fashion. You know how I do. Anyway, I'm about to roll on up out of here. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Oh, before I go, make sure, if y'all want to contribute, feel free to patronize. You can, if you want me to review something, you can patronize $1. I review 1 episode of your favorite TV show upon request. $5, I review a movie upon request. $10, I review 1 season of a TV show upon your request. So just let me know and I'll review it. Or if you just want to contribute just for the sake of contributing, I appreciate that too. So, help Black media. Help Black media. If you want to see Black media grow, contribute to Black media. Contribute to Real Review. I appreciate that. Anyway, I also have my podcast out, Real Review, so you can find it on Spotify. You can find it on it's Real Review with John F. Thomas. Real Review with John F. Thomas. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on iTunes. Wherever you listen to podcasts, I'm there. So thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see you on the next time. Chances are it's going to be Loki episode 2. And we'll break that down as well. But I'll see y'all the next time. Enjoy. Have fun. I'll see you here again next